I'm just gonna see the castle.
Oh, okay.
After a full day of travel, we woke up slowly in Glorietta Bay, and two things really stood out. The first being how wild it felt to arrive in California and to board Savory. Although the previous owner had sailed her to Hawaii, we had only ever known her to cruise the coastal waters of the Pacific Northwest. And we had only ever woken up on her surrounded by old-growth Douglas firs dripping with lichen, verdant ferns, and the fading blue-hued mountainscapes that we call home. Another thing that struck me was that what took us a mere 3-hour flight took the guys nearly 30 days. From Victoria, BC to San Diego, California, we saw one movie. Well, the guys, well, they saw this.
San Diego!
Here we were together again, surrounded by skyrises, with new sights to see, playgrounds to scope out, and castles to explore. It didn't take long until we got right to it. We left under the Coronado Bridge sailing north with destination Mission Bay. In Canada, we have BC ferries, but in the United States, there are warships. San Diego is actually the home port of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The base itself is composed of 13 piers that stretch over 1,600 acres of land and 326 acres of water. It's also the home to over 24,000 military personnel. And needless to say, this presence was felt. We left Glorietta Bay for two reasons. One is that most anchorages in San Diego only allow for a 3-night stay. And yes, they monitor these waters like hawks. The second was a music festival that we had had on our radar long before Savory set sail south. San Diego is also home to the magnificent brown pelican, known for their plunge diving techniques where they fold their wings and dive from heights of up to 60 feet. They also have an impressive 7-foot wingspan and can hold up to 3 gallons of water and fish in their mouth pouch. This pelican species was in fact nearly wiped out by the spraying of DDT, which caused eggshell thinning. But they have made a significant comeback since the pesticides ban in 1972. Their survival is actually known as a Conservancy success story, and they were removed from the endangered species list in 2009. After a 4-hour sail, we entered Entrance Channel and were approached by Marine Police. They asked to see our passports, a few questions, but were all in all pretty friendly. We found our spot and dropped anchor about 300 meters from the main stage of Bayfest. One of those we made it moments. Tickets were well above our travel budget, but this spot would do just fine. We lowered the dinghy and headed to shore. Since we live on a small secluded Gulf island with limited amenities, one of Leo's most recent dreams is to go to a video game store. While the kids both lost their minds, we lost about 30 USD in 3 minutes. With their overall scores, Leo bought candy and Olena bought exactly what I thought she would.
Olena, do you fart at school?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
A lot?
Yes.
Do you blame it on other people?
No.
Or do you just pretend it didn't happen?
It's just real.
Do you say sorry?
No. Anybody hear it? It's always silent first. I want that coconut.
We spent the next day exploring Mission Bay, and I picked up an essential read suggested by a friend back home. And that evening, while the kids watched Moana, we watched our first evening of live music from the comfort of our home. The next day would be dedicated to installing 2 portholes on our boat, and we knew that it would take a bit of time. So we started the day with a trip to Bonita Cove Park, and it didn't disappoint. Next up, Mission Portholes. Louis actually found these windows for a decent price at Minnie's surplus store just up the coast in Newport Beach. It was a pretty fun project. I learned a thing or two. Louis is a pretty good teacher, but I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a bit of cursing when the Sycophlex started drying a bit too quickly. We celebrated with high fives and a cold beer. Now that there's better airflow in the boat, which will be essential as we head further south.
Cuckoo.
I've got to say that it's taken a few days to surrender to the slowness of boat life again. We are blessed, but the quaint simplicity of living aboard in very close quarters without running water or routine is a bit of an adjustment, albeit a welcomed one. On the last day of the festival, Louis left the boat to wash off at the public beach shower, and as chance would have it, he met an Italian and Ecuadorian couple who gave us free tickets to the last night of the show. Out of all the vendor tents, Elena was most enamored by people wearing lit-up faux fur jackets. They even had one her size, but at $100 a piece, I gently told her not today, and she took it pretty well. Just then, a man from Indiana whom we had never met before went into the tent and paid for Olena's jacket. He was there visiting with his wife and daughter, and he said the jacket made Olena so happy that the moment was too perfect to pass him by. The next morning, we woke up to a missing dinghy. Thankfully, it had been rescued by a nice neighboring boat. A little panic to start the morning and a good lesson for us both. Our 3 days at anchor were up, and we were on our way back to Glorietta Bay. If you enjoyed our first sailing journal, please stay tuned for our next video as we sail south through thick fog and a giant kelp forest and surprise our kids with one of the biggest attractions of their lives.